Derek in the house, aka D33 Rec. Hope you guys are having a great day. Again, like I said, I wanted to go create a video real quick, talk about one of my favorite ways to diet, which is macro tracking, whatever you want to call it, macro tracking, flexible dieting, IFYM. They're a little bit different, but they're all the same, you know, calorie tracking, whatever. I'll break it down to explain what they are and what they mean. But first and foremost, I just want to say this, that I'm going to be breaking it up into series that is easier to digest, and each video will have like an action step to do at the end of the video. A little background on my knowledge in this is that it took me one whole year to fully understand this. All the sciencey stuff that every trainer should know, it's taken me a while to grasp it. Okay, so with that said, I'm not smart, but I'm going to, at least because I've studied it, because I've practiced it, I have a good amount of knowledge on how to utilize it effectively, and pretty much just how to get results. You know, that's my main concern, is how can I get you results? So whether your goal is weight loss, whether your goal is muscle building, how can I transform your body? What is the right amount of knowledge to give to a client, right? Because sometimes, you know, as trainers, we tend to overcomplicate things by providing way too much information that is way more necessary than what is actually needed. Okay, again, my goal is to get results. That is it. Okay, so let me break it down. So I want to give you guys the first and foremost real thing is that whatever diet you choose to do, make sure that it is sustainable long term, right? The reason why is, I want to throw out some numbers for you guys, is that in 1 year, 75% of people that go through a diet, they relapse back to their original weight. In 2 years, 85% of people who go on a diet relapse back to their original weight. In 3 years, 95% of people who go on a diet relapse, pass over their original weight. So whatever diet you do, please make sure that it is set out there. Sorry, the lighting is bothering me. Set out there for the long term. Something that is sustainable, that you can do for a very, very long time. And with that type of diet, to find something that can be done for a very long time, it requires a lot of work, it requires a lot of knowledge, and it requires commitment, dedication, all that type of stuff. I'm going to name one diet out there. For an example, if you are into ketogenic diet, right? Ketogenic diet is pretty much no carbs in your diet. If you can handle for the rest of your life to sustain a ketogenic diet without eating carbs, by all means, go for it. I'm not against it. You know, it's a great diet. You get great results. But again, if it's not sustainable, you'll end up relapsing. That's the most important part. And that's what I don't want to end up having for you guys, because you're putting a lot of hard work into a diet, into a workout, into a cardio, into investing in a coach maybe. And it just sucks when you don't have the right knowledge to sustain in the diet. There's another dieting called clean eating. And clean eating is a funny term. The reason why is because people have different definitions of what clean is. And it's pretty much, it's like saying it's in the eye of the beholder. You know that saying? But for food, right? Some people may say that lean ground beef is clean, right? Which it's because it has less fat. Some people may say fruits and vegetables is considered clean, but some other people may say, oh no, fruits are not clean. It has very high sugar, right? Or low carbs is considered clean. But then there's also some people that say brown rice, there's good and bad carbs. So carbs are okay to have. What else? But yeah, so like I was saying, guys, clean eating it's like the saying goes, it's in the eye of the beholder. We never know from one person to one person what the definition of clean actually is. It has many, many different definitions, and it's going to depend on that person of how they interpret what clean eating is, okay? But for the most part, what cleaning to me seems, and what I feel like most people do see it as, is chicken breast, lean ground beef, lean ground turkey, almonds, egg whites, almond milk, brown rice, no white rice, no pasta, nothing like that. And it's asparagus, broccoli, all the vegetables you can think of. That to me is considered clean eating. Like that when I think of definition of cleaning, those are the foods that pop into my mind. So guys, regardless of any diet that you do, you need to understand one thing. That each diet is designed for you to be in a calorie deficit. Okay? I want to make that clear again. Each diet that you do is designed to put you in a calorie deficit if you are doing it right. Okay? And the only thing that makes the difference between each diet is what is going to be sustainable for the person doing the diet. Is it sustainable short term? Is it sustainable long term? That is the only difference between these diets, is that some are more sustainable than the other. In my opinion, the best one that is sustainable is some type of calorie tracking. Now, some other methods of dieting which are very, very sustainable and possibly what we will be utilizing more in terms of long term are portion control, where you monitor your portions, or you really take your time when you eat and just monitor your hunger levels. Because again, it takes some time. It takes like 10 minutes to tell when your body is satisfied or full. Okay, so those are actually more longer term ways of dieting. But the thing is, if you want specific results, it comes down to tracking. It comes down to numbers. It's kind of a weird concept to think of it this way, but you have to think of food as finances. Now, if you're like me who doesn't keep track of finances, you're a mess, right? So like finances, you have to keep track of your money. You have to keep track of what you're spending. That's why people have these things called budgets. They have these apps to help people out to make life easier. It's the same way with food. You have to track your food intake. So this whole concept of tracking your food is very new in a sense, in the grand scheme of things. Like when you think about it, 5 years, I think it was about 5-10 years ago, maybe in the 2005 or so, people started talking about calorie tracking. People were losing weight eating McDonald's all day, blah, 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 blah. And people were freaking out. They're like, how are you doing that? You're supposed to be eating clean. You can't lose weight eating dirty, whatever. But guys, again, it comes down to calories, how much you're eating. So let me get to the meat of everything now, because I've been talking and kind of ranting along way too long. Okay, there's a certain amount that your body needs to eat on a consistent basis, based on your activity level, based on what you do on a day-to-day basis, based on your work, your height, your age, your gender. Based on all of those things, there's a certain amount that your body needs to stay the same weight, to gain weight, to lose weight. If you are eating the same amount of portions every single day, you'll stay the same weight. So if you notice people who are not gaining any weight, it's because unconsciously on a day-to-day basis, they are eating about the same amount of food on a day-to-day basis. Or they eat heavy on one day, eat light on one day, and it balances out. But you'll also notice people who gain weight. It's because on a consistent level, they are eating more calories. They're in a calorie surplus. Okay, that means eating more than what their body needs to stay the same weight. That is why you're gaining weight. You're overeating, and that's considered a calorie surplus. So again, with any diet that you do, it is designed to put you in a calorie deficit. So one of the best ways to be accurate as possible in your diet is to know how much calories you are intaking, right? So the first step, well, not the first step, but one of the first things to know is how much calories do I need to lose weight? How much calories do I need to stay the same weight? Okay? And here's the goal. It's good to know how much the ideal range for you and your activity level, again, how you live your lifestyle. It's good to know how much calories you need to intake to stay the same weight every single day. Because once you find that out, then you can make the adjustments. Okay, but for this video, I'm not going to go into too much details on your specific numbers. Today in this video, I'm going to just explain, give you guys websites to start on, okay? So there's MyFitnessPal. There's My Macro Plus. I would recommend MyFitnessPal. Download that app and start playing around with it and start trying to getting your mind and understanding it. There's so much more details into this, but I just want you guys to understand the concept that if you're trying to diet, if you're trying to get progress, track your calories. Know how much calories you need to lose weight, to stay the same weight, or to gain weight. That's the first and most important thing. And the way you can do that is using a food tracking app, such as MyFitnessPal. Download that today. But the reason why I'm recommending this diet, you guys, is I truly do find this diet to be the most sustainable for most people. Because in this diet, and I'm not going to go into specifics in this video, but in this diet, your only goal is to make sure that you hit your target number as close as possible. So if your calories is 2,000, your goal is to make sure that you hit 2,000 calories, and your goal is to make sure that you don't go way too under or way too over that calorie amount. If you go over that calorie amount even slightly, over time you could possibly gain weight. If you undereat way too much, you're going to lose a lot of lean body mass. You're just going to look skinny. It's not going to look good. And it's not going to be sustainable. You're going to get tired. You're going to lose energy, things like that. But the beauty of this diet is really, unless you're like a bodybuilder or a powerlifter, you shouldn't be too concerned about what you are eating. Okay? To be a healthy person, all you really need to do is to work out consistently. The minimum is 5 hours a week. You need to be able to track your calories. Make sure that you're not in a calorie surplus. Make sure you're not in an overly calorie deficit. Make sure that you're eating your whole foods. You're eating your fruits and vegetables. You're spacing your meal. That was a lot. But guys, for people who are not bodybuilders or competitors, things of that sort, you can pretty much get away with eating just about anything you want and still hit that healthy weight range. And guess what? Our society is built upon enjoying food, right? You know, so many people end up relapsing because they go to a party and they feel like they can't eat a certain or a specific food. Okay, guys? So that's what I want to share with you guys today. That's pretty much it, is to kind of get you guys to understand that there's another way to diet. There's a diet that I feel like is really sustainable for all of you guys, which is calorie tracking. So the first step, download MyFitnessPal, download your information, use the numbers that they give you for now. Okay, I'm going to share more accurate food tracking apps, but if you download MyFitnessPal, don't do anything else. Do not add don't add in your workouts, don't add anything like that, because they say, hey, congratulations, you can eat more food. Okay, so that's it for the first video of this week. I tried to keep it simple. I tried to get straight to the point. Hopefully you guys learned valuable information in this video to get started. Please either give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe. I don't know. If you're in my Facebook group, take advantage of this and DM me. Always ask me questions, okay? I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. There are a couple of things that I missed out, so I just wanted to share that. So first and foremost, the main reason why I like calorie tracking and why I'm really trying to push it, because most people feel like dieting has to suck. Most people feel like they have to eat all healthy, strictly healthy food, and they're gonna hate life. And you know, to a certain extent, it's gonna suck no matter what. But it's not so bad to the point that you can't sustain it. Again, unless you are competing, where you have to be extremely strict on what you eat. The average day-to-day person, you know, like if you're just trying to lose weight, gain weight, you're not trying to compete or anything, you don't really have to worry too much. You don't have to suffer on a diet, right? You don't have to have any food restrictions, but you do have to have moderation. You do have to know how much to eat, okay? Other than that, the same rules still do apply. You still have to have 70 to 80% of whole food, lean meats, fruits and vegetables. And then if you have the space, if you have remaining leftover calories, you can enjoy foods that you enjoy if you have the remaining. And that's where discipline comes in play, where you have to discipline yourself. That's where, you know, you have to educate yourself. This diet becomes so easy once you develop the habits and the discipline to do it. But it requires you to want to learn how to do it. It requires you to put in some work, put in some time to understand that. Or do the method that most people do, where they end up really just going through these crazy diets, suffering themselves and relapsing and never getting the result for a long term. Make the choice, guys. Learn, educate, discipline, or try to do the faster routes of dieting. But alright, guys, I really hope this video helps. This is part 1. There's going to be a couple more series. I'm going to be uploading them once a week, hopefully helping you guys solve you know, your guys' needs. Alright, well, that's the end of this video. I am out.